Can you see me? Is it locked in? I bet. What's going on, beautiful people? It's your man Gerardo Jr. And today I'm gonna address an elephant in the room. You guys have been supporting me through my first couple of videos through this uncomfortable YouTube journey, but we're having a lot of fun with it. But one thing that you guys have been killing me on, and I can't blame you, is my appearance, right? Your first impression in this business is absolutely everything. And honestly, I didn't give you guys my best first impression. So I'm doing my part to get this cleaned up today. And I want to show some love to my man, the barber, AJ, the fadeologist, and see if he can give me a second chance at a first impression with y'all. So y'all come on. I bet y'all come follow me, man. Let's clean this up.
Chillin', bro. You know, COVID dad.
Yeah, you already know what it is.
Bro, why you look like you just came off the corner?
That's why I'm here to see you, man. I'm here to fix this.
You always wait till you get hobo status.
I'll be working, that.
I feel you. How's that going? How's the real estate going?
Man, it's love right now, man.
What's up?
Yeah, it's crazy. Did I talk to you about the last deal?
Huh?
Did I talk to you about the last deal?
Nah, you didn't.
You don't know about the 50?
Nah.
Like for real?
For real.
Oh,
Bro, I've been working till like midnight for like 3 weeks straight.
Shit.
What? So you trying to do that yearly thing now?
What you talking about?
You know, why do you think, you know what I mean, having a clean appearance is important, you know, or,
I got you.
you know, is a first impression everything, or is that just a saying? You know?
That's a good question. I think it depends largely on your industry, because for me, especially living in the deep South, we're dealing with people's houses, right? So we don't know what these people look like. And, you know, I mean, if you want to call it that, technically got a strike against me. I'm black. I'm showing if I got dreads, you know, and if my face look like the Unabomber, you know, even if they're trying to get rid of the house, they was like, I'd give it away, but not to you. You know, I don't feel safe. And so, you know, it's important to show up, you know, very presentable and in the ideal of...
So let me ask you a question.
Sure.
So do you think that a person to acquire a property or even sell it or flip it, like, does it matter what clothing they're wearing? Like, if they have on a tracksuit with some Jordans versus a suit and tie and some shiny shoes, who do you think has a better chance?
Well, I think honestly, it depends on the relationship, right? Because if you built the relationship solid over the phone and they believe that you can help solve their problem, you need to show up looking like the person who can solve their problem. Whatever it is, you know, you might be dealing with somebody who their problem is in a project, so you can show up with a tracksuit on and some J's and you're relatable.
Yeah.
You know, but if you're dealing with somebody who got a $500,000 house and they just went through a divorce and you show up that way, they don't believe you're the one who can solve their problems. So you got to show a dress for the problem you're solving. So my answer to that would be versatile, honestly.
As long as you don't look like you've been in the street all day, I think that being well groomed, if you got a good haircut and your face is clean, I think you could pull up in sweatpants and a t-shirt and a ball cap and sell anything to anybody. It's about how you're able to be charismatic with your words, how you persuade the client.
Sure.
That's what I think. But appearance is definitely important, very important. I do agree with that.
I attempt to show up looking like I can solve the problem that these people are going through. You know, at least on the front end, because I mean, we're attempting to gain their business and their trust. And so,
where do you see yourself doing this? Like, I don't know, where do you see yourself in 10 years?
10 years?
Do you still see yourself solving problems on a lower scale level? Do you see yourself being more involved with gentrification? Do do you see yourself more involved with, growing and expanding?
10 years,
Mm-hmm.
I plan on contributing to the communities that are growing Black families. I feel like we as a community, we depend too much on people who don't look like us to give us a helping hand and to feed us.
Mm-hmm.
When we have the talent and the resources and the gifts, even through all the oppression and everything that we deal with, we got enough resources right now to solve our own problems, and I feel like if we did a better job, and I'm gonna be a part of contributing to the growth of our own community. Learning about development in this so that we can develop our own schools, develop and own our own rec centers, cultivate our own land and have our own communities where the ones who were able to make it out can pour financially into, the system that allows other people to make it out too.
Let me ask you a question. Now, what doors does being involved with real estate, buying and selling, what doors does that open for you to be able to get back to the community?
Man, being involved in real estate, to me, if you see life like a game, and that game is fixed for Blacks to lose in America, right? A few people make it out, but it's overall fixed for us to take L's. That's why it's been happening for so long. And so when you get into real estate, it's like you put your piece on the board, and the more you understand about real estate and the more you influence, because everything in this country, something's revolved around real estate. The wealth in this country is built around real estate. Well, if you want to transfer wealth, if you really want to play this game, you need to understand how the real estate works. They're not making any more land, and they're not going to give us any land. If Diddy, Jay, Michael Jordan were to get together, they could do that. You know what I'm saying? So it's not impossible. It's just, it's not something that as a collective we're focused on. And, that's something that I want to do. So I see real estate as a way to understand a little bit better, how the rules of wealth are played and learning it in a way that we can deliver it to, young people of color so that they can grow up, not behind the 8 ball anymore. We can figure out ways to influence, to climb up the ranks, the ones of us who can make it out, learn the rules of the game, and give back and teach. But a lot of times what we do, we make it out, and then we be like, y'all better come on, I made it. And it's like, you don't get nothing back. It's like, well, how'd you make it out, man? I figured it out. That's what you gotta do. It's like, nah, fam. And then if you get too close, like Nip, the community will take you out. So it's almost like what you do,
What would be the first change that you would make?
If you can holler at kids before they reach the age of 12, really 13, and under, and really give them some tools, and really give them some direction. All right, I think that's where it starts. I think you gotta cast a net and protect the babies, because these babies is growing up hopeless. They're growing up seeing what came before them, and the gifts is being suppressed. And we need a better way to tap into the gifts of our children so that they can grow up and preserve future generations. So I think it starts with the babies.
If you really want to spark change, you got to spark the mind of one of them young kids, and then they're gonna lead. People will follow. They just need to see.
Yeah, so now you got to holler at the popular kids, right? Right? Because kids they're gonna follow what's dope. They're gonna follow what's trendy. They're gonna do what they feel like is cool. Somebody from a previous generation still got to be able to reach the ones who can reach the rest. I think something that you can do is figure out what these kids really want to do. Put them all on a football field, a basketball court, or whatever, just so you can talk to them. And if they get out there, you can find out real quick the ones that don't want to play ball. And it's like, well, what do you want to do? It's like, man, I want to rap. Okay, we'll put them in the studio. Like How much does it take to bring a kid around the studio?
How many kids do you think know the importance of grooming?
That's tough because a lot of kids not responsible for their grooming. A lot of times it's their parents for real. And their parents don't do the best job of making sure their kids are responsible for their grooming. So that's a challenge. So when they see little Tronte come in the classroom and
Little who?
Tronte. that's my name for every young kid in the hood, man. Or a little young Keisha, or whatever, whoever. You know what I'm saying? When they see them come in and their hair ain't done and their clothes look crazy, you got less patience with them because you already feel like their parents don't even care. This kid clearly don't care if this kid acting out, and you gotta keep up with 25 other minds. You ain't got time to be dealing with this kid over here with this runny nose and their hair ain't combed. Because the kids who are well groomed in school, they got a mama at home or daddy at home that'll blow the school up. Yeah. So they treat them different.
So how did all of this start out? And then what's the first deal that you did that made you feel like this is it? I know I'm gonna do it.
Long story short, I was working for AT&T. And I was driving, and one of the techs was like, man, I'm about to quit. I'm about to get in a wholesaler. I'm like, what's that? And he kind of tell me, I'm like, oh, okay, I know a little bit about it. And he was like, yeah, I've been watching these YouTube videos. This guy named Max Maxwell, man, he liked that. And maybe he told me, but I missed it. But anyway, so I jump on YouTube, I pull up a video, I'm like, all right, I'll watch it later. And I'll start watching the video. Very first video, my man, he like, I'm on my way to pick up a check, and he talking. And I'm looking out his window, and I'm like, yo, that look like Baptist Hospital. All right, maybe I'm tripping. And he pulled up at his lawyer's office. I said, man, that's Eric Ellison's office, yo. I said, he in Winston? And I seen the video, it was like $200,000 a month, and then I fell out. I was like, all right, bet.
Yeah, fall out one more time.
And binge watch his videos, apply his concepts. It took me, I went full time. I jumped off the porch in June, and right around Thanksgiving, we closed on the first check of $11,000. And the only thing I did was, me and Amory was putting lists together, and I was calling them. And as I was calling them, I'm driving for Dallas, and we seen a property that was on our list that was also tax delinquent. And we got in contact with the young lady. I met her son at the property. He wanted $30,000 for it. I told him 17. I told him 14. And he was like, I can't do 14. And we landed at $17K. Signed the contract, and within 30 days, I met who's now a good friend of mine, a buyer, who dropped $30,000 cash, boy. And when we closed out and they sent me that, my attorney told me to come pick up that check, and I picked it up after closing costs. That joint was $11,050. I don't know if I ever really get an opportunity to tell him thank you for real, but my guy, thank you, dog, because my business has done over 100K since that first deal. I think 106 to be exact. And man, that's because Max decided to document his journey on YouTube. So.
Rona proof.
Hey man, I'm good. I got the test, man.
You got
the nostril swab.
You did?
Yeah, I'm good, yo. That's what we doing? All right, then. Hey, yo. I appreciate it. Rona.
Appreciate you, bro.
My man.
Yes, sir.
My man. So. Hey, listen, I'm gonna give him this check like next week, so hey, we gotta go. That's a wrap on this one. I appreciate y'all. Shout out to my man AJ the Fadeologist, man, turning me back into a human. Hopefully I'm making y'all proud. Hopefully I'm representing y'all the right way. And listen, this is how you go into appointments. This is how you see people. Make sure that you're groomed. Make sure you look presentable. Because, I mean, like we talked about today, when you look good, you feel good. When you feel good, you play good. And when you play good, you're good. So I don't know if that's how I go, but that's how I'm gonna wrap up today. So, and I love y'all. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. And if you got something out of this, click that like button, hit the subscribe button. Please comment, even if it's to say, you know, you still got a big head. You still, like, I don't care what you say. Just put your thoughts in the comment section, and I look forward to bringing you guys more content that you can grow with.